So because we're doing an explosion, we need to set up our visualization properly. So our visualization right now here in our smoke object is only set to display density. We want it to set to multi-field, so we can see multiple fields. And this is essentially also what the volume visualization does. So this just adds volume visualization. So if we go on multi-field, then we can type the fields that we want to visualize here. So let's say density. So that will do our density, emission, heat, and then color field. Let's do temperature, I think. Range. You can just play around, like depends on how hot our simulation is, of course. Let's change these colors a little bit. Maybe like a reddish. Something like that. So now you can see, now we can actually see the flames. Let's make our density higher. Let's really increase our density scale. And let's maybe add so probably if I'm just going to add a light like this, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Go in here. I can see a little bit of shadow. I'll just keep that off. Right, so we got now some visualization, at least. Right, so now we can playing around with these combustion settings. So if you want to know everything about all these settings, you can read that in the help file. Essentially burn rate, we can open the help file even maybe. So let's go to burn rate. Right. So the amount of fuel that burns per second. So this ratio 0.9 means after 1 second, 90% will be burned. If you increase this, more will burn initially. So you get sort of a more, like a lot of the fuel will get burned initially. So very fast, and then there's only a very little bit left. So that's kind of what you want, right, with an explosion. So you can already see it sort of expanding outwards a lot more in the beginning. So gas released. So again, let's open the help file. And open it up. Gas released. So the scale factor control, like how much gas is injected into locations where fuel is burned. Yeah, so essentially if you scale this up, it will sort of blow outward, essentially as if you're throwing fuel on the fire, which is exactly what we kind of want to do. So let's really crank this up. Let's try 300, see what it does. And you can see this is quite extreme, but you kind of see the point. So what you kind of want to do is, let me check which values I used for this. I actually also started with 300 in my original. So you start very high, and then you quickly scale it off to like 0. So then, because we're doing an explosion, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to add a lot in the beginning. And I think I'm going to turn off my disturbance for now. This is when we're doing this. So then we also have the temperature output. Well, we wanted to output a lot of temperature because, I mean, it's an explosion. Fuel inefficiency. I don't know how to explain that one. So let's just look at the help file again. Well, I mean, essentially, well, we can still look at the help file, but like if it's less efficient, fuel will not burn instantly. So let's look at the efficiency, fuel efficiency. So it controls how much of the burned fuel is actually not burned, but 0 means all burned fuel is removed from the fuel field. 1 means no fuel is removed when it's burned. Right, so let's up this a little bit. We want high burn rate, more temperature output, so something like that. Let's go into smoke. I think we need to create dense smoke. So I'm just going to go into my original thing. Yeah, so it will create more denser smoke, which you probably want with an explosion. You can already see it. What I'm probably going to do, by the way, is I'm going to, because I never really liked this, the way that it lights in the viewport here. What I'm going to do is I'm already going to load my pyro in a new network. So I'm going to make an empty geometry, then do dop IO. And then in my dop IO, I'm going to drag my dop network here and then copy and paste smoke object and then say that we want pyro. Let's go to the right. We have that thing here. Let's put volume visualization. Sort of match our visualization. So density, heat, temperature. Let's put it to a black body or something. No, let's do a ramp. So red. Something like that. Just look at that thing. Now let's, yeah, so as you can see, the visualization just looks a lot better when you do it like this. So now we can sort of have a better look in our viewport when we do that. Poof. Let's look through our camera. Boom. Okay, so some other stuff. So I think in my original, I upped the flames, so it's going to create more flames. So I have the smoke to heat cutoff. So it creates a little bit less smoke. So if you look at this, so heat cutoff, the value of the heat at which smoke is emitted. So if it's higher, it will not emit it. Well, it will stop emitting it after a certain point. So we have some sort of an explosion here. Before we continue, probably what we want to do is we want to start adding some velocity from our rigids, because that's going to make a super big difference. And I mean, we might as well add that in before we start tweaking anything. Or I mean, right now we have the basic setup, and then we can discuss some other stuff and start tweaking some more stuff, because it's just not going to make a lot of sense to keep tweaking this before we also start adding the other stuff in.